Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's edition for Flashpoint. Gene Bailey and I are both coming in from separate parts of the country. I'm out in Colorado right now, and he's back in Texas. We were with El Presidente at the rally in Atlanta. It's great to see the president, President Trump. He came in. Maybe Gene will have some pictures for you or something. Or maybe we should keep it secret and be discreet and not discuss it. But we met and we prayed for the president, and he shared he's feeling very optimistic. As well he should. He should feel optimistic because he's the scores are doing great. By the way, I should explain. I'm on Flashpoint right now, doing a broadcast for Flashpoint, but I'm utilizing my Facebook audience because where else can I rely on doing a 5-minute or 4-minute, conversation? I couldn't upload it if I did it on video. So for Facebook, thank you for joining Gene Bailey and me on Flashpoint. So here's my thinking, Gene. The accusation that Harris made about Trump, saw that desperate linking Trump with being a Hitler and a fascist and a dictator. I got two thoughts, Gene, that are really, really important for the Flashpoint Army to be thinking about. First is, how low can you go when you're talking, the guy's already had 2 assassination attempts, knucklehead, and you're going out there with all of the gravitas of a Washington press conference, and you're declaring to America, the man praised Hitler, and he wants to run his administration like a Nazi fascist dictator. How moronic can you get? How irresponsible can you get? But then I remembered. Do you remember how she got this job? She got the job because she betrayed Biden during the debates. She accused him of being a white supremacist. Remember that? That's shocking. And the guy gulped. He looked so wounded. He literally looked like wounded dignity. I can't believe you'd say that. And she said it because she was willing to go to whatever lengths. This is, sorry to say, I'm commenting on this as my own opinion, not the opinion of any broadcasting station. This woman has no conscience. Very dangerous when you got leaders that have no conscience. She would throw Biden under the bus and accuse him of being a white racist if it could get her elected. And then I realized she'll accuse Donald Trump of being a Nazi fascist if it could get her elected. And in both cases, it didn't work. It just reveals who she is. Able and willing to say any slanderous lie or accusation to promote her own agenda, to promote her own interests. Now, the interesting thing is Nevada looks like it's up for Trump. Michigan looks like it's up for Trump. Wisconsin, surprising. Isn't Tim Walz, the governor there, showing for Trump? Same thing with Pennsylvania. And part of the problem that they're having on the left is that the number of Republicans defecting to being Democrat is down, but the number of Democrats going Republicans are up. The top 3 issues being economics, inflation, crime, immigration, the border, it's 4. Those 4 are all weighted to Trump's advantage in terms of 48 to 45, 49 to 43, in terms of his ability to deal with them better than Harris. So you see when people go into the voting booth, abortion's like number 5. They might be thinking about the economy and crime as a higher priority than the abortion issue. So where she had, we thought, some advantages, she actually, it's advantages, but it's on a lower threshold of values, right? So what I wanted to tell you is Trump said, and he said it, I mean, that's what he's saying. He said he believes it can win. He's just worried about the steal. He's worried about the ability for this to be stolen. That's my final point. Let me just make this statement. I feel as though he could very well have a significant victory that night. I think Georgia looks like it's going to go over. Then they're going to have like Obama's going to Georgia this week and Harris and they're getting Bruce Springsteen and I don't know they're going to wheel out some geriatric old rock and roll fame people, my generation basically. But I don't think that they're going to get young people out and some rowdies that like them already. I don't believe they're going to be recruiting new voters. I think they're going to be celebrating with the voters they already got. I think Trump will take Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania's huge. If he gets Georgia and Pennsylvania, he's already in. Arizona looks like it's going to go for him. In other words, Trump's concern is he'll win and then it could get stolen. So we're just going to pray that it's so won that it cannot be stolen. And there was something else I was going to say, and I don't want to lose it. We're going to claim the scriptures that say, Psalm 7, Lord my God, in you I put my trust, save me from all those who persecute me and deliver me, lest they tear me like a lion, rending me in pieces while there's none to deliver. The prayer is, arise, O Lord, in your anger. Lift yourself up because of the rage of my enemies. Rise up for me to the judgment you've commanded, so the congregation of the people shall surround you. For their sakes, therefore, return on high for the sake of the people. The Lord shall judge the people. Judge me, O Lord, according to my righteousness, according to the integrity of my heart within me. I think that Trump's 4 indictments, 4 cases against him, they will lock him up. They'll put him in Rikers Island. They're crazy. Which leads to my final point, my 4th point, being I think Trump's going to win. He's worried about the steal. But I'm worried about the mental condition of the country. I'll give you what I'm saying. We are in such a better place because we believe he can win, and then we're worried about a steal, because we really know how corrupt the system is. We know how they don't get it, but we do. But even so, it gives us the ability, the temperament, to be able to handle the potential of a victory and a theft. And then there's that emotional area in the middle where you figure out how to respond, which is much better than reacting. Reacting is what the left will do. They won't respond. Respond has to do with thinking. Something happens, you think, and then you respond. The left, something happens, boom, they react. It's what triggered is. It means just react. Because they've been lied to by the polls. And the polls have been lying to them for 2 weeks. So I can tell you how they do that, because I've been studying it. What they do is, they haven't released new polls, like I'm talking about Atlas, Quinnipiac, and the various other polling organizations. They don't release them for a period of a week or so because the data's bad and they want the Democrats happy, because these are all liberal newspapers. Understand, the media, with the exception of Fox and a couple other places, are dominated by the left. So they want to keep people happy. They don't want to give them bad data. So the reason why they're not getting a lot of polling data is because they're not giving the data they had, because they're hoping the polling changes. See what I mean? So they stretch you out for like 10 days because the data they got in 5 days isn't good. They got to push it out another 5 days, hoping it gets better. It's not getting better. Some of the pollsters are cutting and running right now. They don't even want to give. They don't want to give the final 2 weeks. Well, that's the last poll we're going to be doing. Why would you do the last poll 2 weeks out? Now's the time when the nose. I want the photo finish. I want to know where they're at the last 2 weeks. 80% are diving out. No, we don't want to get involved. We're stopping here. And they're all saying it's 50-50, neck and neck. They're lying. They're trying to make it, but what they're not doing, they're not preparing. Say 80 million people for disappointment. And these people are not normal people. I'm going to tell you, I hate to say it. It sounds so, I know, judgmental. But when you're dealing with, I look at my Twitter thread. I look at the responses I get from hostile people with the, cussing and hating and death threats. And these aren't people that handle setbacks graciously. We haven't had any riots, Gene, in 4 years. You know why? The Democrats are in office, and they have this main philosophy, which is called right track, wrong track. And what they want is the country on the wrong track when they're out of office, so that there's change in the air, and they can be hope, and be hope, and they can be the change, be the change. And so they have to have the riots and the distress and all. The problem is they haven't had any riots and distress. All they've had is crime and bad news and economic. It's all the natural consequences of their leadership. But if they lose and they're not ready for it mentally, you're going to see great depression. You're going to see mental depression. You're going to see great anxiety. You're going to see great meltdown. Potentially they're going to loose the hounds of hell, and you're going to see riots. But it'll be because they weren't prepared. They were not prepared because the polling was lying to them. But I'm telling you, I had concerns about Kamala Harris since 2016. I've talked about her since 2017. I had a premonition of her, that the enemy was going to try to put her in the White House, inaugurate her. And I've been watching her since 2017. Been an anxious ride for me. But I think the numbers are all there in Trump's favor. Now, if he can be kept alive, praying for his divine protection, if he can be kept alive, and if the response is so overwhelming that it's hard to steal it, there'll be certain states where, well, we can't give the vote tonight. We're still counting. Large voter turnout here in Pennsylvania, where we're not going to be able to get the count. Right now, Trump's ahead by 200,000, but last time in 2020, he was ahead by 700,000. By the time all the votes came in, he was down by 40,000. So every vote counts. Prepare yourself. It's going to be an interesting ride. But the point is, the good news is on our side. But the left has been not prepared for this. They're not ready. They're not ready. Mentally, if they lose, will there be riots? Will there be mass? It was Mark Halpern, the liberal journalist, who brought up the idea that the left will have a meltdown. And they're going to be in massive need of psychological, and he was serious, they're going to be in need of counseling, they're going to be in therapy, they're going to be in need of support because they've been told they're going to win. And worse yet, Trump is a fascist dictator like Hitler. Dang, you do that to a country? You do that to a country? It's like a divorced couple. Your father's going to take you this weekend. But if he does anything to hurt you, if he does anything to hurt you at all, if he cuts you or beats you up or locks you in a closet, you remember to call this number. Why would you do that to a child? Well, that's what these people do to America, because they're not good shepherds. They're not good leaders. They're not founding fathers. They're hirelings that want power. And that's the reason why I'm so outspoken politically, because I believe we have to call what it is. But I'm going to tell you this. We're in a good place, great place for winning. And I'm sorry I went so long. Flashpoint, you're going to have to edit this. Just take the part you like and put it on the air. And I look forward to getting back with the Flashpoint Army. I'll be back with you shortly. And to all my Facebook folks, God bless you. Keep praying for us. We're going to be meeting with Trump again on Monday. That's the National Faith Advisory. Meet with him on Monday. I'll be back in Atlanta on Monday. Meet with him again. And then he's doing Joe Rogan on Friday. So we never had a president that really was this tight with believers. And it's going to make the liberal left's heads explode when they see the picture of Cheon and Jenny Donnelly. Thank God I wasn't in the front row laying hands on them. It would have been the trifecta that would have made them have a meltdown. But all of our Christian national paranoias out there, the people that watch us and criticize, watch our hands laid on Trump, praying for him. Hallelujah. It's great. All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.